If you're planning or thinking about moving to Nanaimo, you have probably already looked at the purchase price of homes, but it's really the monthly math after you unpack that will actually dictate your quality of life on the island. I'm Travis Bach with Bach Real Estate, and we help a lot of people relocate to Vancouver Island. And in this video, we're going to break down the real monthly costs people tend to underestimate when moving here. We aren't going to gloss over anything today. We're going to look at actual mortgage numbers, property tax updates, precise utility structures, strata realities, and that heating system that can make or break your monthly budget. Let's start with your largest line items, your mortgage and your property taxes. The average price for a detached home in Nanaimo now sits around $850,000. So if you put 20% down and secure a standard 5-year fixed rate around 4.5%, your monthly mortgage payment is going to hover around $3,500 to $3,700 a month. If you shift your focus to a modern 2-bedroom condo in that $450,000 range, that monthly mortgage payment drops down closer to $2,000. Now, to own that real estate, you have to pay the tax man. The good news is that compared to major hubs like Vancouver or Toronto, Nanaimo's property taxes are relatively reasonable following the city's recent tax increase. The total annual tax bill for that average single-family home is around $3,200 a year after applying your credits. Broken down into your monthly budget, you need to set aside around $270 a month for property taxes. And this brings us to the most volatile item in an island budget, your electricity and your choice of heating system. If you're coming from Alberta, it's good to know that in BC, our power comes from one source, it's BC Hydro, and they bill you every 2 months using a tiered rate system. So you pay a base fee of about 23 cents a day, and then they give you a baseline allotment of 1,300 kilowatt hours for that 2-month window. And that's billed at a cheap step 1 rate of about 12 cents. The very second you cross that threshold, the price jumps way up to the step 2 rate of 14 cents for the rest of the bill. Now, nobody knows really what a kilowatt hour looks like. To give you a practical sense, running your kitchen fridge, keeping the lights on, and watching TV is barely scratching the surface. An average Nanaimo apartment or condo that doesn't use electricity for heating only uses only 350 to 700 kilowatt hours a month. So on that kind of baseline lifestyle, you will never see a step 2 pricing. Your hydro bill will become a very comfortable $50 to $120 a month. But this is where the trap snaps shut. The heavy lifters of power consumption are large appliances and space heating. Running a standard clothes dryer for 1 hour takes 3 to 4 kilowatt hours, and an electric hot water tank heating for a family of 4 can be up to 10 to 12 kilowatt hours per day. If you have an older drafty home with 5 or 6 of those baseboard heaters fighting off a damp and windy island winter, you will burn through your entire 2-month step 1 allotment in the first 3 weeks of December. Every single hour of heating for the next 5 weeks is going to be billed at that premium step 2 rate, routinely leading to winter hydro bills of $400 to $500 a month. However, if the home utilizes a modern electric heat pump, it can change the entire equation, because a heat pump moves heat rather than creating it. It uses up to 70% less electricity than a baseboard, and it will keep that exact same detached home bill down to a predictable $150 to $200 a month, while also giving you air conditioning in the middle of July. Now, if you're looking at natural gas heating, FortisBC charges a basic fee of around 42 cents a day plus delivery, which ends up averaging roughly $80 to $150 per month, depending on the season. If you bypass the detached house and buy a condo or townhome, you swap those big heating variables for a monthly strata fee. In Nanaimo, older or smaller, well-managed townhouses might sit at around $250 to $300 a month, but if you want a newer concrete building or a luxury waterfront condo, those strata fees can easily scale from $500 to over $800 a month. Next up is the city user rate bill, which covers your water, sewer, and garbage. The city doesn't roll this into your property taxes. They bill you this directly 4 times a year. So the flat base rates are 49 cents a day for sewer, 69 cents a day for garbage, and $1.11 a day as a water base. Your actual water usage is calculated on a tiered daily step system. For a standard family home with normal water habits, your bill will land right around $350 every 4 months, meaning you should budget roughly $85 to $100 a month for water, sewer, and trash. But here is a massive hidden quirk. So if you buy a home with a secondary suite to help with that mortgage, the city will automatically treat it as 2 dwelling units. Your flat daily fees for sewer and garbage instantly double on the bill, whether anybody is living there or not. Now add your home insurance. Because Vancouver Island is a seismically active zone, earthquake coverage is highly recommended. For a standard detached home, expect a budget of $120 to $250 a month for a really comprehensive insurance policy. For a condo walls-in policy, it's closer to $40 to $80 a month. Now for internet connectivity, if you are a digital nomad, a remote worker, relocating to Vancouver Island, you can go straight to the big infrastructure players like Telus or Rogers for high-speed fiber internet in the city core, which typically costs $90 to $140 a month. But a good tip to save on your monthly cost, because of Canada's wholesale open access rules, there are plenty of independent providers like Oxio, Lightspeed, or TechSavvy that piggyback directly on the exact same physical Telus and Rogers networks. They sell the service at a major discount, often starting between $35 and $60 a month. The only catch is that if you move past the city boundaries into the rural acreages, those fiber lines stop entirely, and you may find yourself budgeting $140 a month for a Starlink satellite setup. Lastly, don't forget ongoing home maintenance. A good rule of thumb for a detached home here is to set aside 1% of the home's value annually for upkeep, which means budgeting accordingly. When you stack all of those numbers up, the cost of running a household can change dramatically depending on the age of the structure and where it sits on the map. And this is exactly why understanding the different neighborhoods in Nanaimo matters so much before you make your move. And that's actually one of the reasons why we built the Nanaimo Neighborhood Guide on our website. It's a tool to help you see where you might actually fit in the city. And we broke down the different areas with a real lived-in experiential way to give you a real feel for what the day-to-day lifestyle is across all of the different pockets. Whether you belong in a quiet northern subdivision, an older character home, or an acreage out past city lines. If you're trying to put the pieces together for your own relocation and want to see how you'd fit into the local community, head over to our website and spend some time with our neighborhood guide before you make that jump. Just a real perspective to help you make a decision that actually fits your lifestyle. And if you want an experienced set of eyes to help you look at the mechanics, internet options, or heating systems of homes currently on the market, all of our contact info is below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.